Operation Midnight Hammer was a top-secret U.S. military mission, meticulously planned to target Iran's nuclear program and shrouded in the highest levels of secrecy. The objective was clear: to cripple Iran's most critical nuclear sites and send a powerful message about the reach, capability, and determination of American military power. Every second mattered. The operation demanded flawless timing, absolute secrecy, and perfect coordination among hundreds of personnel. At the heart of the mission were advanced B-2 stealth bombers, flying thousands of miles undetected deep into hostile airspace under the cover of darkness. Supporting them was a vast team of aircraft: tankers for mid-air refueling, fighter escorts for protection, and electronic warfare planes to jam enemy defenses and communications. The mission was a dramatic display of force, designed to set back Iran's nuclear ambitions with a single, overwhelming, and decisive blow. By striking multiple sites simultaneously, the U.S. aimed to halt Iran's nuclear program for years, crippling its infrastructure and research capabilities. The attack was over in mere hours, before the world, or even Iran itself, realized what had happened. Surprise was absolutely critical. There was no warning, no time for Iran to mobilize or defend its assets. Months of planning went into every detail, from flight paths and refueling points to weather conditions and enemy radar coverage. Intelligence gathering was relentless, using satellites, drones, and human sources to pinpoint exact facility locations and map out defenses. The operation was a triumph of both military precision and intelligence coordination, uniting multiple agencies in a single, focused effort. The U.S. wanted to demonstrate its ability to strike any target, anywhere in the world, at any time, with overwhelming force and accuracy. The mission's secrecy and speed were vital, minimizing risk to American forces and ensuring a safe return for all involved. The world only learned of the attack after it was complete, as headlines broke and governments scrambled to respond. Operation Midnight Hammer was the result of intense, coordinated effort across the U.S. government, involving military, intelligence, and political leaders. It was a high-stakes gamble, sending American air crews deep into hostile territory, relying on skill, technology, and courage. The mission's success depended on precision, secrecy, and overwhelming force, a testament to American resolve and military prowess. Deception was at the heart of Operation Midnight Hammer. The U.S. staged fake bomber flights over the Pacific, drawing global attention away from the real target. Publicized training missions convinced Iran to look elsewhere. Diplomats issued statements suggesting negotiations were ongoing, lowering Iran's guard. Intelligence agencies spread misleading information, creating a false sense of security in Tehran. While the world watched decoy planes, the real strike force flew east, undetected. This smokescreen allowed 7 B-2 bombers to approach Iran without challenge. The attack struck before Iran could prepare or respond. Deception required coordination across military, intelligence, and diplomatic channels. The result? Total surprise, with the real operation finished before most realized it had begun. This modern warfare tactic, controlling perception, was as vital as the physical strike. The U.S. shaped the battlefield long before the first bomb fell. Operation Midnight Hammer's success proved that information warfare is now as important as firepower. The assault on Iran's nuclear sites was a masterclass in military coordination, representing months of meticulous planning and real-time decision-making. Every detail was scrutinized and every contingency considered. 7 B-2 stealth bombers embarked on an 18-hour journey, flying halfway across the globe. They refueled mid-air multiple times, a feat requiring precision flying and nerves of steel. Over 125 support aircraft joined the mission: fighters for protection, electronic warfare planes to jam enemy radars, and tankers to keep the strike force airborne. Each aircraft had a specific, vital role. The U.S. Navy played its part, with a submarine launching Tomahawk cruise missiles from the sea, adding a devastating punch from below the surface. Air and sea power struck simultaneously, overwhelming Iran's defenses from multiple directions and leaving little time for a coordinated response. Every plane and ship had a precise role, synchronized to the second. Timing was everything, and even a minor delay could have jeopardized the mission. The complexity was staggering. Perfect communication and timing were essential, with hundreds of personnel working in unison across vast distances. Pilots, sailors, and crews operated under immense pressure far from home, relying on their training and each other to succeed. The operation showcased the U.S. military's ability to integrate air and naval forces seamlessly, demonstrating unmatched flexibility and coordination. The attack's success was a testament to logistical mastery and technological superiority, with advanced systems ensuring every asset was in the right place at the right time. Operation Midnight Hammer demonstrated how different branches can unite for a high-risk mission, overcoming challenges through teamwork and shared purpose. The world saw a display of power and unity that few nations could match, sending a clear message about American military capability. The mission's flawless execution set a new standard for joint operations, inspiring future generations of military strategists and leaders. The U.S. targeted Iran's three most critical nuclear sites, Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan, each playing a vital role in the country's nuclear ambitions. These facilities were not only central to Iran's nuclear program, but also represented years of investment, planning, and secrecy. Fordo, buried deep inside a mountain, was a top priority. Its underground location made it especially hard to destroy, as it was designed to withstand even the most powerful conventional attacks. The facility's depth and reinforced structure posed a significant challenge for any military operation. Special bunker buster bombs were needed to reach Fordo's hidden chambers. These advanced munitions were specifically developed to penetrate hardened targets, making them essential for any hope of neutralizing the site. Natanz, Iran's largest enrichment facility, also had key sections underground. Its sprawling complex was heavily guarded and equipped with advanced security systems to deter sabotage or attack. Disabling Natanz was essential to halt large-scale uranium production. Without Natanz, Iran's ability to enrich uranium for potential weapons use would be severely crippled. Isfahan, the starting point for uranium processing, was hit to disrupt the entire nuclear supply chain. By targeting Isfahan, the U.S. aimed to cut off the raw material needed for further enrichment. By striking all three sites at once, the U.S. aimed to cripple Iran's program from start to finish, ensuring that no single facility could compensate for the loss of another. Fordo's hardened design worried the world. Natanz was the workhorse. Isfahan supplied the raw material. Each site was a critical link in the chain, and together they formed the backbone of Iran's nuclear efforts. Damaging all three simultaneously was meant to set Iran back for years, forcing the country to rebuild its infrastructure from scratch and lose valuable expertise and momentum. The attacks were carefully synchronized for maximum impact, requiring precise coordination and intelligence to ensure each strike hit its mark at the exact right moment. Each site played a unique role in Iran's nuclear ambitions, and together, they represented the full spectrum of nuclear development, from raw material to enriched uranium. The operation targeted the heart of Iran's declared nuclear infrastructure, aiming to send a clear message about the risks of pursuing nuclear weapons. The loss of any one site would hurt, but hitting all three was a devastating blow, intended to leave Iran's nuclear program in disarray and unable to recover quickly. The U.S. hoped recovery would be slow, if possible at all, buying time for diplomacy and international pressure to take effect before Iran could rebuild its capabilities. To penetrate Iran's fortified sites, B-2 bombers carried bunker buster bombs. These massive weapons were designed to smash through rock and concrete, reaching deep underground. The goal destroy not just buildings, but the critical equipment hidden below. At the same time, Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from a submarine targeted Isfahan's key infrastructure. The attack was swift. Strikes on all three sites occurred within 25 minutes. This rapid assault overwhelmed Iranian defenses, maximizing shock and destruction. The GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator was likely used against Fordo, guided by GPS for pinpoint accuracy. Tomahawks approached from unexpected directions, adding confusion for Iranian defenders. The combination of air-dropped bombs and sea-launched missiles delivered a powerful coordinated blow. After the attack, the U.S. declared the mission a success, claiming severe damage to Iran's nuclear program. President Trump announced total destruction, but later Pentagon statements were more cautious. Iran admitted the strikes but downplayed the damage, insisting its program would continue. Both sides launched information campaigns, each trying to control the global narrative. Independent verification was nearly impossible. No inspectors, only satellite images of surface damage. The true extent of destruction, especially underground, remained unclear. Experts agreed the operation was complex and well executed, but debated its long-term effectiveness. The result? A war of words, with each side projecting strength and resilience. The real outcome of Operation Midnight Hammer stayed hidden behind secrecy and propaganda. Iran quickly vowed revenge, launching missiles at Israel and escalating regional tensions. The conflict spread beyond Iran and the US, threatening to draw in other countries. Iran also threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz, risking global oil supplies and economic turmoil. This warning was a powerful reminder of Iran's leverage. Despite US claims of success, Iran's leaders refused to back down, promising continued resistance. The region was left on edge, bracing for further clashes. Militias allied with Iran in Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon went on high alert, raising fears of a wider war. The escalation risked spiraling into a multi-front conflict. The world watched anxiously as the Middle East teetered on the brink. The cycle of attack and retaliation made the situation dangerously unstable. Operation Midnight Hammer was a showcase of US military power and precision. But the big question remains, did it permanently stop Iran's nuclear ambitions? Experts warn the damage may only be temporary. History shows such programs can be rebuilt. The attack may push Iran's efforts further underground, making monitoring harder. The Middle East is now more volatile, with the risk of wider war increased. The operation solved one problem but created new complex challenges. Trust between nations has eroded and diplomacy is more difficult than ever. The legacy of the strike will be defined by the unpredictable events it set in motion. The world waits to see if this show of force leads to peace, or more conflict. Operation Midnight Hammer marked a turning point in modern warfare. The US demonstrated unmatched reach, stealth, and coordination. The immediate goal, crippling Iran's nuclear sites, was achieved with stunning precision. But the aftermath is uncertain. Iran remains defiant and regional tensions have soared. The risk of a wider war is real, with the Strait of Hormuz as a flashpoint. The world faces a high-stakes standoff where any misstep could trigger catastrophe. The operation is both a case study in military success and a warning about unpredictable consequences. The future of the Middle East and nuclear non-proliferation hangs in the balance. Experts will debate the impact for years to come. The hope now is that leaders can find a path away from further conflict before the next crisis erupts.